Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I don't know what went wrong. There was an error, but I praise you, Father. I praise you for your love and your mercy, and I praise you for all things. And I love that song, Amazing Grace. It has so much meaning to me. The day before my daddy was accidentally killed because he was changing a tire on a pickup, and it rolled forward and it crushed him to death. But that was on a Monday. But the Sunday before that happened, I had come in from Tulsa and went with my daddy to the church that he pastored. Now, you can understand, I had seen a lot at churches, and usually every time I was around, Daddy would have me to sing in one of his services. No. But that day, after the singing and everything was over, he got up and he said, I've got a special request. I want my daughter to come up here and sing Amazing Grace with me. And I was like, oh, okay. I sure tried, Dad, but you can't sing. I mean, you can't even hold a tune. You try and try, but But I went up there, and as we stood there, and he had his arm around my shoulder, and I had my arm around his waist, and we began to sing Amazing Grace. How sweet the sound that it would save a wretch like me. And it began to flow. It began to flow in a way I don't think I've really ever experienced that flow since then. And I've sang many songs, but Daddy's voice was so awesome. He sang on tune, and it just, if you'd ever heard my dad sing and then you heard him sing that day, it was like God had walked right in and opened up his mouth and the music flew. And that song means a lot to me, Amazing Grace. For it was truly the amazing grace that saves us. And thank you, brother, for putting it on to bless people. For it is amazing grace. Like my daddy said, it was amazing grace that saved such a wretch as I. Now, my daddy was a strict dad. He wanted us to walk in the path of the Lord, and he was strict on his rules. But maybe we need some more dads like that today. But thank you again for putting it on, for it is truly the amazing grace. The amazing grace that the Father would send his Son to earth to die for you and me. It's amazing grace that keeps us in his hands. That amazing grace. Thank you, brother. For if only they could feel the amazing grace he has. They would throw down their sins. They would run to him and put their arms around him and say, "Forgive me, for it is your amazing grace that saves me. You died for me. You bled for me. Your amazing grace. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like